All right, welcome to my podcast, the Chazz Palminteri podcast. And we are approaching 20,000 subscribers. And what does that mean when we get to 20,000 subscribers? That means I'm going to be giving away 5 of these classic style posters to 5 people, 5 of the subscribers. These are the classics. And, my way of saying thank you. Don't forget the merchandise here. Here, a Bronx Tale, the hoodies. This comes with a zipper too, if you like a zipper. Now you can't leave, and a Bronx Tale. Really great quality, very well made. And of course, here we go. Bronx Tale, saddest thing in life is wasted talent. A Bronx Tale, Now You Can't Leave, in black and white and khaki. That's really khaki. But so many people requested merchandise, and I said, okay, you want it? You got it. If you'd like to come and see my one-man show, ChazzPalminteri.net. Is that right, Dante? .net? .net is the one-man show. If you want the merchandise, ChazzPalminteri.net. Go to merch, hit the store, and you'll have a whole bunch of stuff. Posters, the card. Where's my card?
What's the link that it takes you to on ChazzPalminteri.net?
The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. You go to ChazzPalminteri.net. It takes you to the link.
What's the link called? A BronxTaleStore.co.
A BronxTaleStore.co.
The link will be in the description. Link down below.
The link down below. A BronxTaleStore.co. Or you can go to ChazzPalminteri.net. Either one. So, what's it today? Today, you are the stars. Neighborhood Logic. We're here at Neighborhood Logic time, which is people call up and ask me questions. Some people have said, because I do a one-on-one where I teach people lessons. They said, well, can I call up and pay for an hour with you on a lesson? Not a lesson. They're not actors. They just want to ask me a question. I would say, you don't have to do that. I'll answer it for free here. That's only for if I'm teaching acting, writing. So just send in your questions, and I'll do it for free right here, folks. You don't need to spend an hour with me answering your question. Do it right here. Now, if you want to learn acting and writing and career advice, then you do the one-on-one. So here we go. Dante, give me a question here. What are we doing?
All right. This is from your pal, Bruce.
Bruce.
Recently, I've had a run-in with the law and have a pending case. I could go to jail or be put on probation. If a miracle happens, the charges will be dropped. The results of this case are unimportant. What I'm having trouble with is now I want to shake this off and move on, and at the same time, I feel marked by the mistake I made. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a bad person. I just made a bad mistake. Do you have any advice on how to get past this mentally so I can move forward with my life once this is over? P.S. Dante and the homeless pimp should show their faces more to add faces to the name.
Listen, I want you to be on camera, Dante.
You will.
One day you refuse. He likes to be in the background. Well, maybe one day we get you out in front here, okay?
All right.
So he got arrested.
Yes.
Bruce, what did he get arrested for?
Doesn't say. We don't need to know that.
Doesn't say. Well, I mean, is it...
That makes a difference.
It makes a big difference. Did he get arrested for
armed robbery or
for robbery?
Loitering?
Or for, vagrancy? I mean, come on. Is it a felony? It sounds like a felony.
All he says is, I'm not a criminal, I'm not a bad person, I just made a bad mistake. Do you have any advice on how to get past this mentally?
Well, I would say the way to get past it is, look... my movie Bronx Tale, nobody cares, Bruce. Nobody cares. If you know what I'm saying, don't get all caught up in it. O.J. Simpson killed 2 people. He got past it. His life went on. Come on. I'm sure you didn't kill 2 people. So just move on with your life. Try to live an exemplary life from now on. And that's getting past it. Don't let this bog you down, Bruce, and make more, do something else. Drugs, alcohol, and fighting with your family.
I feel like it's hard to give advice on this one. We don't know the actual, what he did.
We don't know the crime,
He might have done something that's like, don't move on from that.
Well, I mean, if the guy did something, if the guy whacked somebody and he got caught, or he really assaulted somebody or hurt, or domestic violence or something, well, that's a tough one. But I would say,
I think for the sake of argument, let's just say that it's something mundane.
it sounds like a mundane thing. So let's put it like that. So I could say, try to live your life exemplary from now on, and do the right thing, and life will take care of you. What's the question?
All right. Oh, boy. All right. This person is dropping a lot of friends' names. Okay, so.
Okay.
Chazz, I heard from a friend of a friend.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, a friend of a friend that you're actually an avid hunter.
Mm.
Could you please explain to me how a boy from the Bronx turned into a hunter?
Wow. Well, I was always, I liked guns. I liked, target shooting. I liked pistols. I liked shotguns, and I liked long range. I loved long range shooting, like really long, like, 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards. And I trained for a while. Once in a while, I still take a lesson with these guys. They were both SWAT team members from Jersey. They were SWAT team. And I was training with them. And if you go on my Instagram, I posted, I think, a 900-yard shot I did once. And then I was only shooting targets, And then my friend who goes hunting a lot, he hunts deer and boar, but he's a great cook. A great cook for wild game. So I would go, and I wouldn't shoot anything, but I would just go with him, and he would shoot a deer, and then he would cook it, or wild boar, elk, moose. And I said, well, gee, he said, well, why don't you, and I said, well, I don't. Then finally I did. And then I made a pact to myself. I said, okay, I'll shoot something as long as I eat it.
It gives you a much deeper appreciation for food.
It really does.
It's not like something in the supermarket anymore. Now you really go, oh, this is what I'm eating.
And this is what I'm eating.
This is it.
And I have to tell you, Dante, and let's tell everybody, I try not to, when I'm hunting, I not all the time I use guns. We like to go bow hunting. And my son is, we shoot Hoyt. Hoyt's the best for us. We love Hoyt. And, when you hunt with a bow, let me tell you something. It's not easy. You're not shooting something from 150 yards, right, Dante?
Well, that deer I got was 32 yards.
32 yards.
It needs to be on top of you.
And how long you have to wait for that deer to come. They're so smart. But when you shoot it with a bow, you feel like you give him a chance. You give him a chance to get away.
Well, with a gun, you're giving him its fair chase.
Yeah, but with a gun, you have a better shot to get him.
A much better shot, but with the bow, I mean, you're grinding.
You're grinding. You're toughing it out there. But so I do go hunting. What was his? He didn't leave his name.
He did, but I don't want to say it because we know a lot of the. Yeah,
I get it. Okay.
There's a paper trail.
I got a paper trail. You're right. So yes, I do hunt. But I do, when I hunt, we cook it, we eat it.
Yeah, we were debating about saying this question.
Yeah, we were. I don't know. I remember when you told me about this question. I said, "Oh, I don't know," but
it kind of freaks people out. Some people.
Yeah, but I don't think it's wrong. There's a certain feeling of going back to the land and feeling of like, if the shit hits the fan, I could survive. I have property, and if there's a food shortage, whatever happens, all the shortages now all over the world. Yeah. All these boats are parked outside. If you had to survive, you can. You can.
This is sort of a touchy subject.
It's a touchy subject, and I do understand the other side.
I understand the other side if you're vegan.
Why is it only if you're a vegan?
Because if you're a vegan, you have said, okay, I am taking myself out of this, this thing, this part of the food chain. I will no longer be consuming any meat or anything like that.
Right.
So if you're vegan, I kind of understand it. But if you're eating meat, if you're going to Taco Bell,
right,
and then you're going to give us shit about hunting, so what? So you can pay to have it killed, but we're wrong for doing it ourselves and having a connection. And
yeah,
people don't understand how hard it is.
It's really hard.
It's like a 99% failure rate.
Yes, you go out a lot and you come back with nothing. You come back with nothing, especially with a bow.
I mean, how long were me and you sitting in a stand? We came back with not days.
Many days, hours, days.
Last year, we were there 6 days before we even saw anything.
So, yeah, very difficult. Like I said, and especially with the bow. You feel like a hunter. You feel like you've accomplished something.
And you want everything now. I mean, how much GMO is in our food? Or how messed up is the food now? You go get a tomato at the supermarket. You have no idea where that came from.
Well, how about the beef that's all shot with hormones?
Come on, man. I sound like Joe Biden. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, when we get a deer, like we'll go, on my property and we'll get a deer, and it's like we cut it up. We bring it to we don't cut it ourselves. We bring it to the butcher, and he cuts it up.
I'd like to learn how to do that, though.
What?
I'd like to learn how
That's hard. I mean, that's hard.
That's a totally different skill.
Yeah. I mean, it was bad enough we had to skin it, but we did it. We did it, and we took it to the butcher, and he made sausages, and we had the veal shanks. I mean, and
it's really cool.
It was cool. It was cool.
I'm really into it too.
Yeah,
since you got me into it,
and to eat something that you harvested. I think it's in the DNA, folks. I think it's in the DNA. Just from years ago when we were hunters, we did this. So that's how it happened. I started just shooting targets for many years. And then I would go with my friend who would do this. And I think because he was such a great chef of wild game, I appreciated it much more. You know, Dante?
That's what it's about. It's all about the food.
Yeah, he was such a great chef and he treated the meat with reverence.
Right.
I mean, after the kill, he would say a prayer over the animal. So I can understand that some people get upset about this, and I understand that. Okay, but like Dante said, unless you're a vegan, unless you're like totally plant-based, I mean, what could you? Yeah, I mean, come on. We do it humanely, right, Dante? We don't shoot far away. We don't try to injure the animal. We try to make a quick harvest, and then have that food in the freezer. I think it's, I don't know, it just brings you back to nature. And even if you don't get anything, we just love being out in the wilderness, my son and I.
That's what it's about.
Really?
It's not shooting the animals, the worst part.
Right.
It's about connecting with nature and being in the woods. Food.
Yeah, I mean, what is that show? Steve Rennell. Is that the guy's name? The Meat Eater.
Steve Rennell.
Steve Rennell. Let me tell you something. There's this show, Steve Rennell. We love that show. We're big. We watch that show all the time. And we watch that show because of the reverence that this guy has for hunting. He hunts. He respects the animal, and then he cooks it and eats it. And he's phenomenal.
You know what I like about his show?
What's that?
Is if he doesn't get something, they'll still air that episode.
They'll still air the episode. How about when he misses?
They still air it.
And he still airs it. Sometimes you watch the whole episode, I think it was that one goat.
There's a few,
a lot. He was chasing the billy goat.
I don't know which one you're talking about. The one
goats.
in Alaska.
In Alaska. And he missed a shot that he was waiting his life for, and he missed, and he aired that episode. But then he finally, in another episode, he got it. So
that's
he's
what
really,
that's what it is.
He's the real deal. If you get a chance to watch that show, Steve Rennell, Meat Eaters, and he's a great chef and a great cook.
Cooking wild game is a totally different thing.
Cooking wild game is totally different. Totally different. I mean, you have to really know what you're doing. I mean, again, like I said, bow hunting, we love bow hunting the best. I mean, we enjoy shooting.
I love shooting.
We have, what I could say, I have a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah. What are your favorite boomsticks?
My favorite what?
Boomsticks. Your favorite guns?
Yeah. The 6.5 Creedmoor. I like that. That's a Browning, the X Browning 6.5. I also have a custom-made 6.5 Creedmoor made by JP Enterprises. That's really, and I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just telling you,
If you could have 3 guns, what would you choose? It's apocalypse scenario.
I'll take a 22, a Ruger 1022, That's one gun. Then I'll take a 30-30, Marlin 30-30. And then the third one will be, I would say the 6.5 Cremo or the 30-06.
You wouldn't pick a shotgun?
Shotgun. Yeah. Well, yeah, I forgot about that. The Benelli M4. The Benelli M4 shotgun. Yeah, that's, if you're going to get a shotgun, that's the gun to get. And again, I'm not sponsored by these people. I'm just telling you what I feel.
Look at you. Gun nut.
I'm a gun nut. No, I'm not. Well, yeah. But Bo, Hoyt. And where we go to shoot, Tommy, I'm a Mamaroneck Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy, Extreme Hunting, I'm a Mamaroneck Avenue. Go there. If you want to know anything about hunting, ask for Tommy. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic place. We like that.
All right.
Wait a minute. Wait. And what do we wear? Sitka. Is that it? Am I saying it right? Sitka, the best camouflage anywhere. We wear Sitka. It's a little expensive, a little pricey, but you have this other camouflage. You know, when you pull the bow, it makes sounds and noises. Sitka, because it was made by hunters, and the hunters own it. So
it's you never realize how much noise you make until you do something like this. I mean, me and you are in the blind, and you're coughing.
I wasn't coughing. I just went.
Gone. They're all gone.
Deer's gone. You go like this, really. Gone. Deer are gone. It's insane. You have to be so still. Even if you go, gone.
Remember when you sneezed?
Oh, I was so mad. All the deer came in, and I sneezed. Oh, my God. I wanted to kill myself. And it was a beautiful buck. And the bucks always come in last. You know that. That's so smart. That's so smart.
You were trying not to sneeze.
I was trying not to sneeze, and trying not to sneeze, I sneezed. And that was it.
Gone.
But, folks, don't put down hunting if you've never gone, because it's a wonderful experience if you do it the right way. If you just don't go out there with a bunch of idiots and just try to kill things and leave them there. That, I will not, I'm appalled at behavior like that, whoever does that. If you go out there the right way, get a license, get a tag, harvest a great animal.
And, hunting is one of the best ways of conservation.
Yes, it is.
I mean, You want to protect the land, you go hunting, you go buy a game tag. That money goes straight into conservation.
Straight into conservation. That's right. Exactly. Now, I mean, the other thing about some people who go to, Africa and they hunt that big game, I that's not for me. I don't. I can never shoot a lion, a tiger.
That's different.
Now there I agree with you. An elephant. That's to me. That's too much. I can't. If somebody wants to do it, fine, but that's not for me. If I could eat it, if it was something like a deer or a wild boar.
You know what the best is? When we would have the wild game meat and when you would have Nona cook up.
When Nona would cook it. Pheasant. We love bird hunting. We love to go, bird hunting. With dogs, without dogs, upland bird hunting is great. Pheasant hunting, just great. Even if nothing happens, you just get out there and walk in the wilderness. I'm telling you, it's just a feeling of being close to God, being close to nature. It's a great feeling. We're spending a lot of time on this question.
Yeah, all right, let's move on.
Yeah. What else we have here?
We could spend a lot of time on this one too. Chazz.
Yes.
Can you rank the New York City boroughs from favorite to least favorite? This is from Tony.
From Tony. Well, please.
He gave his last name, but we're not going to say his name.
We're not going to say his last. From favorite to least favorite. To least favorite, excuse me. Well, my favorite is the Bronx. I mean, that's where I was born and raised.
All right, Bronx number 1.
But I can't, you know what, I'm sorry. I can't. I love Brooklyn. I have great friends in Brooklyn. I have great friends in Queens, Astoria, that area there. I don't know. Staten Island, I love the people there, great people. I can't put my least favorite. I don't have a least favorite. If you're from the East Coast and you're from this, Bronx, Queens, Long Island, I love, I can't say a least favorite. I don't have a least favorite. I'm sorry. I really don't. I don't have a least favorite. I mean, I don't know what else to say to that guy. A least favorite. Oh, Brooklyn, man, for Avenue P. I remember I used to go to Avenue P many years ago. I was dating a girl there. Oh, my God. Oh, God knows how many years ago that was. But I love Brooklyn. great restaurants there.
You're dating a girl? Was this the vampire?
No, that was in Manhattan. The vampire. Forget about her.
In Manhattan, you'll get vampires.
In Manhattan, you get some crazy girls. Yes. Yes, those were the days when I was in a band many, many years ago.
Brooklyn, Staten Island, and Queens, Bronx, they don't have vampires.
They don't have vampires.
Nobody there thinks they're vampires.
Only has vampires is Manhattan.
Yeah, you're only going to find those people in Manhattan.
Yeah, that's another story. I think I told it on one of my podcasts. Oh, yeah. I did, yes. I don't want to repeat that one. When I dated a girl and I found out later that she was a vampire. She told me she was a vampire. You can go on one of my podcasts and it's crazy. All of a sudden she was biting my neck. I ripped her off my neck. I said, get away. And my neck was bleeding. Totally insane. Only in Manhattan that happens, right?
That's a Manhattan thing.
That's a Manhattan thing.
There's no vampires in Staten Island.
Want to date a vampire? Find a girl in Manhattan. All right, what do we got? We got anything else here?
This is from Tim, the Sicilian from France.
A Sicilian from France, Tim. Okay, let's hear it. What does he got?
Okay. My father and I asked you a question last month, which was what's the future of humanity according to you? In other words, how do you see the future of humanity?
Yeah, we can answer that in about 5 seconds. The future of humanity. I didn't answer this question the last time? I thought I did. Did I answer?
He says just answer it instead of talking about TikTok.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Just answer it instead of talking about TikTok. And what's his name?
Tim, the Sicilian.
Tim, fuck you, Tim. No, really, don't tell me how to run my show. Fuck. Just answer it instead of talking about TikTok. Now, how you want me to answer the future of humanity? The future of humanity would be better if you weren't in it. How's that? I'm just kidding with you, Tim. Well, you know what? All I can say about humanity is they said it would be gone many, many times, but it's still here. I think the spirit of the human spirit will be here for a long, long time. After you're gone and I'm gone and we're all gone here, humanity will live on. I think we have to learn how to care for each other and love each other a little more. I know that sounds like an idealistic thing, but especially today, I think there's a little too much hate in the world, a little too much everybody like against each other. And I really do believe, Tim, that it's the internet. I think the internet has brought out these trolls of people who before the internet, we never heard of them. Now, all of a sudden, you get the internet and they look and they're like, yeah. And they're typing, yeah. You know what, Chazz? Yeah, fuck you. I hated that movie you were in. And who do you think you are? And what is that? You know what? And before the internet, nobody gave a shit about these people. These bad-mouthed people who are negative with black clouds around them. So I say that the internet is a blessing and a curse. It's great that, I could sit there and go, you know what, how many feet is the Grand Canyon? And look it up and get an answer. How far is the sun away from the earth? Boom, I could look it up and get an answer. But then also you got to deal with these people who come out of the woodwork, who get reviews for restaurants and put down people. And
we've had a couple of little skirmishes with those people. Because if they comment on your Instagram, you'll comment back.
If they comment on my Instagram, if I don't like it, yeah. Sometimes I just go, you know what? Hey, I know I shouldn't do that. I should be beyond that. My wife gets upset. She goes, don't comment. Don't give them a podium.
Okay, if somebody said that to you growing up in the street.
What?
What they say on, like a hater, a troll.
Oh, they get slapped. They get slapped. Those guys get slapped. Oh, yes. Because all these guys, everybody could be a tough guy, when you're on the internet. Everybody could be a tough guy. Yeah. I come over there, I'll kick your ass, they type. Yeah. Well, you know what? Come over here. Let's see how tough you are when you're in front of somebody who could really kick your ass. And I shouldn't be, what am I doing? I'm trying to spread love, and you're fucking telling me to kick somebody's ass here, Dante.
What was the best ass kicking you've ever seen in the Bronx? It was the best Bronx beatdown.
It has to be in the after-hour club I worked. That was with little Tony. Little Tony had this beautiful girlfriend. She was like a foot taller than him. And I was working this after-hour club. And all of a sudden, these guys came in. They were like, they weren't from the neighborhood. They were Irish guys because the bartender was Irish. And so I think they were his friends, and they allowed them into the after-hour club. So you think you're in a club that you're lucky you're invited to. You got to watch your P's and Q's, right? So little Tony's girlfriend was there. And the girl was sitting, they were at the bar, and this guy walks over to her and asks her to dance. And Tony, he wasn't paying attention. He was talking to somebody. So he turns and he sees the guy walk away. And he says, what happened? And she says, well, that guy asked me to dance. And he was like, who? And she goes, please don't say anything. So he let it go. Not 5 minutes later, she puts a cigarette to her mouth. This guy comes from across the room, Dante, with a lighter, one of those big lighters, comes up and goes, and tries to light her cigarette. Well, let me tell you something. Did you ever see those things, the nature movies, when all the hyenas are killing the animal? They're eating something. You can't even see the animal anymore. You just see the hyenas. All Tony's guys hit this guy at the same time, and they hit all three of them at the same time. And it was a beating that I will never forget. I was in awe by it. I just stood by the stage and watched. It was like, and it was all like, I never forgot that beating. That was one of the great beatings I've ever seen. And I'm pretty sure he'll never light somebody else's a girl's cigarette like that again. Those guys were wrong. I mean, you're in a strange club. You just don't do like that. And this was like one of the bosses of the club, one of the wise guys, So that was a mistake. But I saw some really good beatdowns when I was a bouncer.
It's Bronx Beatdown.
A Bronx beatdown.
That's a Bronx Beatdown.
Yeah, that's like 3 breaths before you die. You're allowed to live.
That's a Hall of Famer.
That's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I saw some.
What about when you were working the clubs and the sleeper hold? We talk about him?
The sleeper, well, yeah, my buddy Barry, I won't say his last name, but Barry and I, we bounced together. And Barry had the thing, if you look at the UFC, they do it, it's called the chokehold.
Rear naked chokehold.
A rear naked choke. Well, 30, 40 years ago, we used to call it the sleeper. And we would get guys in the sleeper, put them to sleep. But Barry was the expert at it. He could get you in a sleeper. He could just tap your shoulder, boom, sleep. And so as soon as the guy started trouble, Barry would grab him, and then we would all yell in unison, "Oh, no, not the sleeper." And we would laugh as the guy would go to sleep. And it was just...
all the bouncers.
All the bouncers.
So the guy so the last thing the guy would see and hear is all the other bouncers around him.
Yelling,
"Oh,
no, not the sleeper." But we had a lot of fun. Barry and Russ, and Michael... God, and we just had,
we got to talk more about your bouncing days.
My bouncing days? I think that's an episode in itself.
It is, but we don't really talk about that.
Yeah, but we should do that. Like, you
have a lot of crazy stories.
I have a lot of crazy stories about the bouncing. Oh my God! Yeah, we'll do that another time. That's like an episode.
That's an episode.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about bouncing,
yeah,
right.
If you have any questions about bouncing, send them in. Or maybe even questions about hunting. I'll answer.
Questions about anything.
Questions about anything. Any kind of question you have. Or if you got a serious question, like some of these questions,
make sure it's not a script.
Yeah, it's not a script. I don't read scripts, folks. My life's okay. I have 5 projects in development. I work on those. So
you'd be amazed the amount of scripts we get.
Yes, please. I don't want to. Yes, it's too much. So, any question you want. Why go to a shrink and pay all this money? Come to me. Neighborhood logic. We use neighborhood logic. Sometimes common sense is the best sense. Neighborhood logic sense. Am I right, Dante?
Well, the next question is a good neighborhood logic question.
Go ahead.
My name is Devin. I'm a Native American Poet Boxer from Nebraska. Do you got any boxing tips you can give? Some famous Palminteri combos. His Instagram is... Wait, what's his name?
What's his name? Devin? He's a poet.
His name is Deveron.
Deveron.
He's Native American. Yeah, at Devin Baxter Jr.
Wow. Well, some tips about boxing, some combinations. Well, all I can say to that is, I've been boxing since I've been 3 years old. My father taught me, and his father taught him, and his father taught him. I come from a family of boxers, fighters. My father was a bus driver. My father wasn't a professional fighter. He was a professional trainer. He did. He was. And I taught my son since he's been 3 years old. And if you go on Instagram, you can see my son and I, play around with the bags. We've been sparring and training all our lives. And so, Deveron, I would say the more you train, the more you do combinations, obviously it becomes like second nature to you. Like somebody who's really a fighter, like those UFC guys. I mean, those guys, forget it. We're not on their level, but we're boxers. We box to train, to stay in shape.
No, we box to defend ourselves.
No, we box to defend ourselves, but we're not sparring.
No, but I feel like there's two types of boxers. There's
Right.
like the fitness boxers who, it's just sort of like burning calories, and then
Right.
there's boxers.
Boxers, yes. We do defense, duck. I would say work on your combinations, because the more combinations you have, the better it is.
What are your favorite combos?
But, the standard combo, I love throwing a right. I love throwing a right cross and a left hook to the body, a double left hook, right cross to the body to the head with the left hand.
I like the Mike Tyson. He would go double left hook and then left uppercut. So you think it's another left hook, so you put up your hands up by your ear for a left hook, and then it hits you.
Yeah. Well, the uppercut, very underrated punch. Not in boxers, but in the street. Nobody throws uppercuts in the street. Everybody's, throwing wild punches. So when you fight a guy and he's throwing wild punches, you just sit tight. You block those punches.
What are some boxing tips? That's a good boxing tip.
Well, if a guy starts throwing punches, you just make sure, you put your chin in your shoulder. Look, Mayweather is like, one of the great defensive fighters ever. One of the great fighters of all time, obviously. But a great defensive fighter. I mean, he could he never gets hit, this guy, because punches just slide right off him. But I would say the uppercut in a street fight is brutal because nobody expects it. I think that's a good tip, Dante.
Who's some of your favorite fighters?
Well, I have a lot of great fighters. Current with my
give me some like UFC fighters and some of your all-time favorite boxers.
I like this guy Poirier. I think he's great.
Dustin
Poirier.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin. Is it Justin?
Dustin
Poirier. Yeah, Dustin Poirier. He's great, and I like his work ethic and the way he is devoted to his family. Really, really good. I like his style very much. I like the Diaz brothers, Nick
and
Nate. Yeah, they're good, man. They're from the like me, from the they're from Compton, right? I think
just like you.
Well, no, what I'm saying is they grew up I grew up in the Bronx. They grew up in an area like that. I like the slap. I think that's funny. I think they're very talented.
My favorite is Francis Ngannou.
Francis Ngannou. Well, what that guy accomplished, just from being alive, is pretty remarkable.
You ever hear about his story?
Well, I think he walked across the state or something.
Walked across state. The guy. It took 14 months. He went from Cameroon to Europe.
Really?
Oh my God! Yeah, you got to listen to his story. It's just him getting to the UFC made him my favorite fighter.
Wow. Yeah. I got some. There's some. I like the Gracie brothers were great. Hoist Gracie and Rickson. If you want to go by pure jiu-jitsu, Rickson maybe and Hoist were the best. I never seen people that were 170, 180 pounds take down guys 220, 230.
If we're talking about that, you can't talk about UFC without the GOAT, Khabib.
The GOAT, yeah. Khabib. The thing about Khabib that's just amazing is, and I think it was Joe Rogan who said it. We were watching Joe Rogan once. He said, "You're not trying to win. You're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
You just want to survive." And I think that's what makes Khabib so great. His mental will. That after a while you just go. I remember when he fought KG.
Justin Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje. After the first round, he was like, Gaethje was like, I said to myself, did this guy train? It was just too much pressure. And I remember Dustin Poirier, he said, I can't get him off me. So would I say Khabib is the GOAT? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. You have to. He's never been beat.
No.
You got to give the guy, you got to say he's the GOAT.
He's never bled.
He's never bled. I think he lost one round.
And that's maybe. That's like an argument.
An
that's
argument.
an argument.
Well, Conor McGregor supposedly beat one round on him.
Supposedly.
I mean, Conor McGregor's a...
It's not a clear he won the round.
You got to give Conor McGregor, I mean, tough fight. I mean, a great left hand. Knows how to make money. Knows how to bring in a crowd, I can tell you that.
What I love about Khabib is now you see him in Islam's corner.
Yeah, you see him in the corner now.
You see him in the corner now. Now he's training other fighters, and
he's really humble. He's really has a lot of humility, that guy.
Super humble guy. He's all about the fight, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some great UFC fighters, man. Oh, boy, those guys. Boy, I hate to run into one of those guys in an alleyway. I mean, the guys today are so advanced. I mean, when the Gracies started this thing many years ago, people weren't advanced like that. Now, you just can't be good in jiu-jitsu. You have to be everything.
Look at like Israel Adesanya.
Oh, my God.
That guy's doing like gymnastics in there. You never know what's going to happen next.
Right. I mean, they're great in jiu-jitsu, in wrestling, in boxing. I mean, if you're a champ now, man, you are a monster. Because it's the real deal. It's the real deal now. I mean, these people that think, I love these people these tough guys that think they could take these professionals. Oh my God. You know what? When I was bouncing, I bounced with this guy, Mark. Now, Mark I think he was 11th in the world in judo. Judo. I told you the story. In the Olympics. And one time I was fooling around with him, and I says, "Hey, Mark, come on, let's fool around." And he said, I said, "Well, don't hurt me, but I'm telling you, this guy treated me like I was a 5-year-old. I mean, he just pushed me around and made me fall and pushed me here, and his leverage. I was like a child. I was like a 5-year-old with a father just push. I mean, I've seen this guy do things that he was one of the bouncers. Oh my God! Anybody who thinks they could beat one of these professionals, whether it's a boxer, UFC, or judo, jiu-jitsu, forget it. Walk away, man. Just walk away. I mean, these guys are on another level from us. Another level. Any more questions? I mean, yeah, I think we went on a rant on that one, but go ahead.
You like Julian Jackson?
Julian Jackson, the light heavyweight? No, he was a welterweight.
Julian
the Hawk. Yeah, he fought in the 80s. Julian Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, fought in the 80s or 90s, early 90s. I think he had 55 fights, 51 knockouts. I mean, my favorite fighter, if you want to talk boxing of all time, was Sugar Ray Robinson.
Why?
Well, he's before everybody's time. Sugar Ray Robinson would knock people out backing up. He hit Gene Fullmer with a left hook backing up. It was pretty amazing. I mean, look, there was some guy. Look, Sugar Ray Leonard, one of the great fighters of all time. Mike Tyson. The thing that made Mike Tyson so great is he was so powerful, but people underestimated Mike's speed. Tyson was fast. You look at him in his heyday. This guy was fast. Not only could he hit hard with either hand, he was fast and he was elusive. He moved his head. Yeah. Tyson was a great, great fighter.
I saw this tweet that said if Tyson hits you with his right hand, you go to the hospital. If he hits you with his left hand, you go to the morgue.
Look, a guy like that hits you, you go to the hospital. I mean, he could kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Your cheekbone will go into your brain. I mean, people don't realize how strong these guys are. I remember my father took me to see Joe Frazier training when he was fighting Muhammad Ali. And I heard this sound. I said, what is that sound? Then I realized as I got closer, Joe Frazier was hitting the bag, the big heavy bag, and Yank Durham was holding the bag, and another person was holding Yank Durham. I'm not bullshitting you. And Frazier was hitting the bag with this left hook that the fucking place would shake. And I said to myself, oh my God, do you imagine somebody getting hit with that? Holy shit. I mean, he would hit me, I would end up, my clothes would be out of style. Seriously. I mean, oh my God, he would hit me, I would roll into the next borough.
What makes a good punch?
Well, you know, look, certain people are born punchers. Certain people could just twist. You know,
give me the components of a proper punch.
I can't do it sitting.
No, don't do it sitting. Just explain it.
Well,
the people at home.
The punch comes from...
Where does it start?
It starts at the foot. It's like the legs. It's the hips. It always comes from the hips. It's just like a golfer. That's why these thin guys can hit a ball so far. It's the snap. It's like a whip that goes from your toes, through your calves, through your hips, all the way down, and then the twist. It's your whole body. Wow, bam. And that's what it does. The left hook, the same thing. It's a spin. It's right here, the stomach. You know, it's the core. That is the power of the punch. That is the power of the punch. I mean...
That's why they call it throwing punches.
Well, I mean, the greatest fighter, if I had to pick the greatest fighter ever, I should answer that question. You got to go with Muhammad Ali. You got to go with Muhammad Ali.
Don't you have a pair of Muhammad Ali boxing gloves right above you?
Thank you, Dante. There's a pair of, I don't know if could they see that. I don't know if you can see that, but Muhammad Ali, could you raise that? Muhammad Ali gave me those. That's right, signed boxing gloves from Muhammad Ali. One of the honors of my life to meet him, and he gave me that. I signed it. I would say he was the greatest, only because he lost 3 years of his prime. God knows what he could have done in those 3 years. And the people don't realize what made Muhammad Ali so great. People go his height, his speed. He wasn't a great puncher. I mean, he could knock you out, but he would knock you out in combinations. The thing that made him so great was his chin. His chin. Could not knock him out. You could not knock him out. He has been hit. He was hit. I mean, he got hit by Liston. He got hit by, oh my God, he fought everybody. And they could not knock him out. And that's what made him so great, because he would keep coming back at you and he would break your will.
It's pretty demoralizing. You hit somebody as hard as you can, a punch that has knocked out everybody before. And all of a sudden, they're still standing. And you're just like, oh, shit.
That's when you know you're in a fight.
But they're not even rocked. Like, they're fine.
They're fine.
They're totally fine.
Well, that's what Khabib does.
It's like people fighting Khabib, and they give everything they have, and he's like, that's it.
And he smiles at you. It breaks your will. It breaks your will. My dad used to say it's like a tea kettle. A fighter's like a tea kettle. He builds up all this steam, and it gets bigger and stronger. But then when he's in the ring, he's fighting, and as soon as he hits a guy, and the guy looks back at him, it's like, you know what, a tea kettle goes, tsh, all the steam comes out. Once you believe that you can't win, you can't beat this guy, usually the next punch you get hit with, you get knocked out.
It's a mind thing. That's what makes Khabib amazing.
Yeah.
He stares you down.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm coming into this thing to win.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
And the second you believe that you might not win. All right. We got one more question for you to end this podcast.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, Chazz. This is from John.
John.
Do wise guys wear masks?
You mean like the mask for COVID?
Do wise guys wear masks? That's all. It says, hi, Chazz. Do wise guys wear masks? Thanks, John.
Okay. Let's settle this right now. That's a good question. There's two things wise guys don't wear or never use.
I know.
Where? No.
I know what they are. Yeah.
What?
Shorts?
Shorts. You'll never see a made guy in shorts. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Made guys do not wear shorts. They just don't do it. and they don't put on masks. They don't. He's a fucking boss. He's a wise guy. He ain't wearing a fucking mask. It's not happening. So I say the answer is no. They don't wear masks. And you'll never see, if you see a guy in shorts, he's not made. Trust me, he's not made. You're not going to see a guy, hey, you want to make the hamburgers? No, it's not going to happen.
What about the beach?
Well, they go to the beach, yeah. I mean, they go to the beach. I mean, a bathing suit, yeah.
That's not shorts.
That's not shorts. No. Shorts, that's not happening. No,
If you see a made guy in shorts and a mask.
He's not made.
He's not made.
No, he's not made. That's
and
a
to
lie.
anybody who's upset if a made man is not wearing a mask, if that's what you're upset about, you really need to get your priorities in order.
Yeah, get your priorities in order, because who the fuck's going to say anything to him anyway? There's a made guy, he's not wearing a mask. You're going to tell him, hey, you got to get out because you're not wearing a mask?
Go
I don't think so.
Go tell him the new CDC guidelines. Go have fun.
Right, yeah. He's going to say, why don't you get the fuck out of my face and get away from me? That's what he's going to say. Give me another question.
Do wise guys wear masks? That was a good one.
That was a good question. Do wise guys wear masks?
Good question,
Neighborhood
John.
Logic, where you are the stars. Please send me your questions. Chazz Palminteri Show at gmail.com. Send me your questions. We love to answer all these questions. It's a lot of fun. What else we have? Come on, give me something, baby. Give me something.
I'm coming. Hold on.
What, I got to fill up the time here. You want to see my show, ChazzPalminteri.net.
Hold on, I have to cycle through all the scripts.
Oh, more scripts? Folks, please stop sending me scripts. I can't read them.
My name is Luca. I'm from London, England. I live around the Italian Quarter by St. Peter's Italian Church. Some friends of mine are leading me in a direction that I think could be negative towards my future. I want to get out, but like in a Bronx Tale, I don't want them to say I got no heart. With all of us being Sicilian and Italian, what do I do?
Luca, you're worried about your friends saying you got no heart. I mean, if I worried about my friends saying I had no heart, I'd be dead right now. Come on. You got to be your own man. I don't know how old you are, Luca. You didn't state that. But I would say you will be judged by the worst of your friends. I'm going to say that again, folks, for the people out there. You will be judged by the worst of your friends. There's an old saying, you hang out, you lay down with pigs, you smell like garbage. Even if you don't do anything, by just hanging out with the wrong people, it's not a good thing, folks. It's not. Show me your friends, I'll show you who you are. Show me your friends, I'll tell you how much money you're going to make in your life. I'm serious. Your friends are very, very important. I say this to the parents out there. You want to know what your children are doing? Show me your friends. See their friends. If their friends are not good, that's not a good sign. I don't care what your son or your daughter are telling you. Friends are not good, that's not a good sign. Because kids lie. They lie to you. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Very, very important. So I'll tell you, Luca, I would say stay away from these guys because they're only going to lead you down the wrong road. And I said it many times, and I'll say it again. You can never bring somebody up in this world if they don't want to be up. But the opposite is not true. They can bring you down. Somebody negative on this planet can bring you down with them. Is it like saying the negative is more powerful than the positive on earth? I would say yes, in a lot of ways, yeah. Because the negative is an active thing, and you could get caught up in it and not do anything. I've had people who, said, well, I don't smoke pot, but my friends do. Okay, look, I got nothing against smoking pot. It's fine, it's legal, whatever. Okay, but when it was bad back then, in one of my time, my dad told me, he goes, well, if you're driving the car and everybody's smoking pot and you're not smoking, and the cops come and they put all the pot underneath the seat, and the cop searches everybody, but then he searches the car, you're the one who gets arrested. Even if you're not the one who's getting high. And please, and don't get me wrong, I did get high. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Okay? Show me your friends. I'll show you your destiny. All right. Well, listen, it's been a great show. This has been Neighborhood Logic, where you are the stars, you answer the questions, where you give the questions, excuse me. You go to Chazz Palminteri Show at gmail.com. Ask me any question you want. We have fun. Ask me anything that we talk about, anything. And I'll be more than happy to answer. It's been a great show. Don't forget my merchandise. If you would like to get some, go to chazzpalminteri.net. Come and see my one-man show, the show that started it all, chazzpalminteri.net. God bless you all, and good night, and stay safe.